Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. I hope everybody's well today. I can see we have the lovely Karen already over on our YouTube page. Many of you will be tuning in via YouTube. You can watch via Clarity Craft's Facebook page and also via the Clarity Crafts website as well. So I can see we've got lots of friends in this morning. Thomas, good morning. Humberta, all the way from the States. Yes, it's lovely to have everybody's company. A little bit early. I should get the all clear that hopefully you can hear me okay from Jilly. So Jilly's in the room with you this morning. If you have any questions, she's there to help. And no doubt some of our lovely design team will also be joining us over the next hour. So yes, it's lovely to have everybody's company again. I can see we've got many eyes in the room, so just pulling up a chair. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Friday already, and unlucky for some, Friday the 13th. So sound is good. Thank you, Jilly. There we go. So as I said, any questions? Jilly is in the room. She's there to help. She'll be popping up some codes as I go through different products over the course of the hour. And there we go. I can see we've got some Facebook friends coming in. Linda was first in this morning over on Facebook. So what's the weather like for everybody today? It's a little bit grey, overcast, damp, drizzly. Good morning, Glynis, Sharon. There we go. Everybody's coming in, pulling up a chair. Have you got something nice to drink? I've got my coffee as usual. Yes, definitely needed today on a Friday. So what are we going to be looking at today? Well, today I thought what we would do, we'd have a look at construction. And I've got a couple of products to share with you. We've got some groovy, we've got some dies, and we've also got some die cut card blanks as well. And we're going to look at some cube boxes, also the Tudor house, which can also be a Swiss cottage. It can be a gingerbread house as well, and the wedding cake slice. Now, the wedding cake slice could be any type of cake, and it's low fat as well. So no calories going on if you're working with a cake slice. So let's have a look, shall we? First of all, let's do some housekeeping. If I just bring up a screen to the side, just bear with me. So let's have a look here. So this is our first collection we have for you today. So this is the Christmas Cube Box Template A4 and Border Groovy collection. Now, the top of that image on the right-hand side of your screen, yes, is a 5-digit number, 41043. That's the item code for this particular collection. Underneath, you've got a product image to show you what it's all about. Then underneath, you've got the title of that product. And then finally, you've got the prices. So the RRP for this should be £61.95. Today, you're going to save £18.59, and it will, when you put it in your basket, it will be £43.37. Now, if you're in any of the Clarity Craft clubs, you'll also receive an additional 10 or 12.5 or 15% discount as well. How do I go about ordering? There's several different ways you can order. You can go to the Clarity Crafts website, which is claritycrafts.com. Put that item code in on the search bar and it will take you straight to that product. Alternatively, you can give our UK call centre, aka Sue downstairs, a call on 01732 868 215. So that's the housekeeper. But maybe you're thinking, oh, what's the website all about? Let me just bring in my iPad. And because what we also do, when we bring you an episode of Clarity Social TV, maybe you can't tune in live at the time. You can always go back and watch it at your leisure. So maybe you get interrupted during the course of this hour and you think, oh, I missed that bit. What did you do? So let me show you exactly how you can find that on the website. So I'm going to zoom in on this one. This is the website for you to have a look at. Really, there we go. So when you go to the front of the website, you've got the scrolling banner of the thing. Who's in the Nutcracker hunt? Who's riddle 13? We've got our craft awards there. But this button here, the Clarity TV button, if you click into that button there, then what this will do, it will show you all the products being showcased during the course of this hour, or the last hour that actually we went to air with. And if you scroll down, you'll see that all the items are also available individually. So maybe you've already got part of the collection already. So you can scroll through, and then it's got a couple of pages. Now, if, for example, you missed any of our previous episodes, if I come back up to the top, you've got Clarity TV, Catch Up and Craft. Click here. So there we go. So you go into this area here, and you'll be able to go back and watch previous episodes as well. So this was Tuesday afternoon just gone with myself and Jazz. Then on Monday, it was with Barb and Jazz. So that's where we got to find all about Jazz and how she came about working at Clarity and the ideas behind her designs. And so you can just scroll through and have a look at what you've missed out on. Whoops, there we go. So that's an easy way to do that. And so you just go to the search bar at the top and you pop that item number in. So the first collection we just showcased, which is on your screen at the moment. So this is the Cube collection, and it comes with 4 different border plates as well. And let me bring in, where's my plate gone? If I bring in, just bear with me for a moment. There we go. If I bring in my plate and we have a look at this on the overhead, I probably need to zoom out now. Just bear with me. There we go. So what this does is it gives you your template. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different or 6 different designs on the plate itself. You've got instructions on how to assemble the box, and they've also been laser etched into the plate as well. So they're always going to be there for you to follow if you can't remember. But hopefully over the course of this hour, you'll be able to go back and watch it. Maybe that's what you prefer. So you've got that, and then it comes with 4 additional borders. And in those borders, where did I put those? I put them somewhere safe. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Let me just see. I've got them. It's going to be in the bottom box. I thought I had them out. There we go. Yeah. So if we have a look at that pack shot, you'll see you've got 4 different borders. You've got your Christmas pudding, which is the top row. Then you have your robin, which is the next row down. Then the 3rd row is your daisy, and the 4th row is your fuchsia. So all of these different elements can be used to decorate your cube box, but they can also be used on cards as well. So let me bring in some artwork to share with you. So I've got it all laid out nicely. Okay, let's pop that on there. How is everyone today? You all right? Okay, let's have a look. So let's have a look at some cards first. So what the design team have done here, they've used those borders. That's the one that's got the lovely flower on it there. Then we can go festive with the Christmas one. So you've got some mistletoe, you've got Mary and baby Jesus, and you've got some candles. This is quite lovely. Taking one of the panels and extending it for autumn, and then using another one to do the centerpiece, and using Silent Night from the Platemate in the starter kit. So that's some card suggestions. Now, let's have a look at the cube boxes themselves. So if I bring this one in, I'm going to come in on this camera here. Right, where am I going? So you can see it creates a lovely size box, and you can decorate it however you wish. Do you want to do some picot cutting? Do you want to do some perforating on there? I mean, look at that frame just around the outside. Then we have another one here. So if I bring this one in using, and these are great. These will definitely get a couple of Ferrero Rocher inside these boxes. Great for table presents, not just for Christmas. These would make lovely wedding favors. Then we've got another piece here, and that's using one of those borders to decorate, just like so. Need one of those little spinning tables, don't I? Then let's have a look at this one. So this one could be an advent. You could have your advent on them, number 24. This is using some of the 'Twas the Night collection in Groovy. Then, oh, which one to go for? I reckon, can we guess who did this one? Who do you reckon created this one with the sparkly pink? I'm going to reveal it. It was the lovely Jane Telford. So she created this lovely little box. Then let's go with some snowflakes. Now look at this. This has all been pico cut. This would look lovely if you put those battery operated tea lights in them, and it would illuminate the design. Then we've got this one here. Little robin, partridge in a pear tree, potentially on there. See, so you can pico cut them and then you can line them. You can personalize them if go for an alphabet, like so. Then we've got this one here, candles, got that lovely Christmas pudding. And then finally something fresh for spring, summer, decorated with those lovely flower borders on there as well. So that gives you some ideas of what you can do with the cube box. Now, if you like the cube, but maybe you're not necessarily into your parchment, then we've got a couple of options for you. We've got our 3D die cut cube boxes, and the item number for those are 31160. And we showcased these a few weeks back with, these are lovely Jane Nesterenko's Christmas winter scene stamps and some doodle dies. So that's what that is. Looks like when it's assembled, undecorated. But maybe you're into your die cutting. So we've also got our mini cube box with butterfly. Now look, this is lovely. If I bring these in, I've cut these out of companion paper. Okay, dinky. These will definitely just hold one Ferrero Rocher, but it comes with a butterfly that you can add in to any part of your box. You could put it around the side, you could use it on your card. Let me just bring it in over on this one, and then you can see that it stands proud. Okay, so that cube box there, the item number is 31185. If you want the pre-cut ones, it's item number 31160. And if I just compare the two sizes, so you can see that that's the difference in the size. So you've got your die cut ones, or you've got the ones that you would cut out with the mini cube box. Okay, and then when I compare this to the parchment one is fractionally smaller than the die cut one. Okay, so that is the cube, the Christmas cube box collection. So let me just pop those over there. Then, oh, where should we go? Should we go to the Swiss cottage or the Tudor cottage? So the Tudor cottage is an A4 plate. So this is your design here. So it gives you those lovely sort of beams on the outside. You've got your roof. Then the bundle number is 41042, but maybe you just want the house on its own. The item number for that is 40425. Now, what about change it, build your own house? Let me just move this artwork out the way here. I'm going to change the details on the screen. So the Tudor house collection, here we go, 41042. Should be £42.97. You're going to save £12.89 and pay £30.08 plus your club discount. Now, what I love about the Tudor houses is that because you've got those two additional plates, these plates can also be used on their own to create cards. This one's rather lovely. This one's from Josie Davidson. So she sort of created like a church. You see, so you've got the front panel of the house. It could be a church, it could be a chapel. So great for weddings. Then this one here from Gal. So she's created just a lovely country cottage. Best wishes on your new home. Maybe it's about retiring. That would look lovely for that as well. So let's pop those to one side and let's have a look at some of these cottages. So if I bring this one in here, look, there we go. So you've got your little roof on there as well. A little bit of pico cut in the windows. Let's pop those there. Then let's have a look at, this is great for a little sort of doll's house, dolly cottage. This could definitely be filled with sort of like sweets or a lovely little gift. So you've got that one. Then maybe you want to go Swiss cottage. So this one's got some sparkly windows. Very festive. You've got the little, I love the effect in the eaves of the house. We turn it round. Oh, look, there's the outside Christmas tree. So you've got that. Oh, we're very lucky we've got 2 Christmas trees in this house. However, you may want to go a little bit different. This would make a great bird house, or it could be a dog kennel, couldn't it? Just adapt it slightly. I love this roof effect. You've got different types of roofs. There you go. You've got your sort of scalloped one, and you've got more of a vintage tile on there as well. And then the last one, let's have another look at another Tudor cottage as well. Okay, so that is your Tudor cottage, and the item number for that is 41042. Then the third one I want to share with you is, let me just change the details for you. This is the wedding cake slice. So the wedding cake slice is the same configuration. It comes with one A4 plate to give you your cake slice, like so. There we go. And then there's 2 decorative borders, which again, all available individually, but the saving is to be had when you go for that complete collection. Maybe you're new to Groovy and you haven't seen these before. Now let's have a look at some cards using the plates. So this one here is from Gal Sydenham, and what Gal's done, she's taken the heart from that border, and she's taken the doves, and then she's taken the tiny, tiny little heart just to decorate, and she's then created a gift tag to go with her wedding card. This one here from Tina Cox. So Tina's just used the candles, and the candles are in the center of one of the cake panels. And then finally, I reckon this is another Tina one. So Tina has created this one, and that is using just that there, the centerpiece. And because you've got the 2 different sizes of triangles, you can have trees of different sizes. So just another way of using them. So let's pop these to one side. Okay, so pop those. Where did I get those from? They came from there. Let's have a look at some of the cake slices. Now, if I bring this one in here, there we go. So you can see with the coloured parchment, maybe you're doing it as these would look lovely. You could do, I think it's about 8 or 12, I can't remember, do all together, and you will actually make a complete cake. So this would be lovely in the center of a wedding table for everyone to take their favors. This one here, you turn it round. I wouldn't recommend putting cake in there for people to take away unless it was wrapped in some foil or something to protect the parchment. Then we've got another piece here, celebrate your special day. A little bit of pink. I love this one. Look at the white work on those flowers. We've got that one. Then see, they can go in different directions. So this one here, you've got your bells. You've got the lovely frill, which is all on the plate. Look at those hearts. And then what have we got around this side? So you could stand them up that way. Oh, not that way. There we go. depending on how you put them on the table. This one has been decorated to show that, like so. But you can see all the different ways. So that one there. Then this one here, celebrate, because all of these different elements are on the plate. And if you've gone for any of the other borders, you could use those, because I believe this comes from the this decoration on here comes from the borders in the cubes. And we've got another one, just a general party time. We've got little balloons on there, little heart. Maybe it's it. Look at that. That's some engagement diamonds, isn't it? Special day, champagne and bubbles. I love these. And look at it on the ends of that one. Doesn't it make a beautiful frame? Okay. And then this one, a little bit of adapting. So now you can make your sort of dangly ones. So these look lovely on the tree. So it will give you the, because it's easy to achieve, it will give you that little bit more confidence on how to sort of play around and see what else you can come up with. Like, for example, on the cube, I forgot to show you this one. So this is the cube, but you could make a double cube. So you could have it as a table setting for a wedding or a party. And you could actually make it another one, so you get a box of those after 8 minutes in there as well. And the coloured parchment really can give a different look to your artwork. So let's pop all of these over here. All right. And I think we're going to start with the cake slice. What do you reckon? So let's pop all of these over here. Okay. We'll put these cards are so lovely. Right, they go back on there. So let's go back to my original pack. So if you're looking for the cube collection, that is the item number there on your screen. But I'm going to start easy. I mean, they're not difficult, but all I'm going to do now is just show you exactly how they work. And over the course of the hour, we're going to construct all 3 of them. Okay. So I've got my cake slice. I can read the word groovy the right way round. Okay. Now this is where I decide how I want to decorate it. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the outside shape to start with. So in order to do that, I'm going to need some A4 parchment, but I don't really have anywhere to attach it. So this is where the platemate comes into play for your A4 and A4 square plates. So let me just zoom out a little bit now. There we go. So it comes to you in 2 parts and it wraps around your larger plate. And in order to fill the space, you've got these little adapter plates that Mr. Dave came up with. There we go, that goes like that. That goes into there. You get your groovy tabs and your extenders, and the groovy tabs holds everything together so that it doesn't move around, like so. Okay, bring it all together. So that's held nice and secure now. And then I'm going to take my parchment, and I've now got somewhere to attach my parchment so it doesn't move. I'm going to take my tumble dry sheet that comes in the starter kit, and I'm just going to wipe my parchment. I'm staying within the parchment. I'm not going on to the platemate. And the reason for that is because depending on what type of tumble dry sheet you use, some of them can be a little bit more oilier than others. So then I'm going to attach my parchment like so. There we go. So that's now nice and secure. Then I'm going to take my groovy number 1 tool and trace just the outline. Okay, and it doesn't take long. I'm going to press into the groove and we're just going to follow the outline like so. See? And if I jump out of the groove, then nothing's going to happen. Okay. And all of a sudden you see the design start to come to life. Go around like so. So the cake one is a good one to get started with. And I thought what we'll do, I've already got all the other ones traced out and cut out as well. Because when you see me cut it out once, it's the same principle for all of them. So there we go. Now this one is quite easy to trace out. So I move there. I've got some resistance, so I didn't wipe enough there. My groovy tab. Okay. Or there. And you do feel the difference when you're getting in the groove. Okay, so that is the basic shape of my card or my cake slice. I can take the elements here. Maybe I just want to do the whole box, because don't forget, I can line that up there and just infill the area with that. What you need to be aware of is that these rectangles are the sides of your cake. Okay, so these areas here are the sides of your cake. And the triangles are either the top or the bottom. So what we're going to do now, you would now decorate your cake slice however you choose. And then once you've done all of that, then we need to cut it out and assemble it. So let's pop all of that to one side. There we go. That goes like so. Now, when I'm working with sort of construction, I prefer to use a craft knife and a ruler. This one you could use a little pair of scissors, or you could use a big pair of scissors. It's all about having the choice. The cake slice, there's no reason to do any picot cutting or perforating around the outside, because it's all going to fold. If you want to picot cut in the middle of the design, you can do that. But on some of the other construction, you may want to do a little bit of picot cutting on some of the edges. So I'm going to take my craft knife, which we also have on the show. We've got a Cutting Essentials collection. Now, I know many of you have already indulged in this collection. I'm not going to mention any names. If you want the complete cutting bundle, the item number is 31631. And it should be $35.97, but the special price is $29.97, and you will save £6. And in that essentials kit, you're going to get your blue craft mat, you're going to get your groovy grip, 2 sheets of A4 groovy grip, you're going to get your steel-edged Pergamano ruler, and more importantly, you're going to get your Japanese precision craft knife. Okay. So I'm going to pop that to one side, like so, and I'm going to bring in my blue craft mat. Now, I've traced out on the back. When I come to do my cutting, I'm going to turn it over and cut on the front. Steel edge of my ruler, and I have some of the groovy grip. I've taken just a sliver of one of the A4 sheets, and just it clings to the ruler. If I don't have that on there, when I'm cutting out, can you see how the ruler just slides around? But with the introduction of the groovy grip, like so, now it doesn't move. Just with a little bit of pressure, look, the parchment will move, but the ruler won't. So I'm going to put my goggles back on. And what I tend to do is I tend to do all the straight edge, like the larger areas first. Steel edge of the ruler up against the white line of what you've traced out, and just gently, you don't have to cut with the first pass of the knife. You could do a couple and then see whether it's cut through. There we go. So that's that part done. Then I'm going to turn round and do the flap across here. So I'm going to do these with one pass of the blade now. As I say, you can do this with scissors if you want to, but I just find with the knife, I get a lovely, crisp, clean cut. So we work our way around, and it doesn't take long to cut out. I'm going to go around, and you're just going to follow it through. And this is the same for all of the three-dimensional groovy that we're looking at in this hour, whether it be the cake slice, the cube box, or the Tudor cottage. It's the same for all of them. Okay, so I'm going to go around, remembering to stop when we get down there, and we're almost there on this one. And you're probably thinking, I can't see the chat at the moment, but I can hear you saying, oh, you've missed those bits, you've missed those bits. I know, because what I do is I do all the long areas first. Okay, so we've got that, and then finally, I think there's one more long edge to do. Let's have a look. No, I think I've got it all. Okay, and then it's choice. You can either go freestyle with your craft. You can still use the ruler, or you can take a pair of scissors. This is what I tend to do. I tend to do all the long bits with a craft knife, and then just the little bits on the side, I will then use a pair of scissors just to finish those off. Okay, so work your way around and keep these bits of parchment because you can still use them. You could use them to decorate your box with the flowers. There was a lovely cake slice that had 3D flowers on them. And the final two cuts, like so. Okay, let's just pop these to one side and let's have a look at what we end up with. So we're still on the front of the parchment, like so. Everybody right? See, we've got many friends. I'm going to have a quick look in the chat, see what's going on. I'm missing out on all the chat. There's definitely a lot going on in the chat this morning. There we go. Right. Now comes the fun part. Well, I say it's fun. It is. Once you've done this once, you'll remember how to do it. But if you do forget, then it's laser etched. The instructions are laser etched into the plate as well. And these shapes that we're working with, whether it be the cake slice, the cube box, or the Tudor house, for the outside, for the sort of the shape of the actual design, you can actually use paper and card to do it as well. And I've got one, the cube already cut out of paper. I used our Northern Lights 12 by 12 designer paper to cut out. Okay, and I think I did a show a couple of weeks back. I think it was on with the crackers, and we had a look at how you can use paper on top of the groovy plate, either with the light panel underneath or just by feel. You can do it, and you can make some lovely pieces, especially if you've got that 12 by 12 designer paper. And I know the Shenandoah completely went when I had it on the other week, and I know there's only a small amount of the Northern Lights in there as well. So I'm sure Jilly will pop that up on there for you. Okay, so how do we construct our cake piece? I'm going to go to one. Where's that gone? There we go. I'm going to go to one that I've already put tape on, and I've missed a bit there. Okay, let's bring that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit now. Woo, stretch up. Okay, and we're going to zoom in a little bit. It does give you all the information on the plate, as I said, and I'm using high tack tape. Okay, the high-tack tape is a good way of constructing with your parchment because it's got that strong bond to it. But what we need to do first is fold it into its shape. So this is another reason why the Pergamano ruler is really good. Not only because it's got that steel edge down the side, but because what we're going to do now is use it to fold our parchment. So I've turned it, flipped it over so we're on the back of the parchment. I'm going to take the edge of my ruler and now I'm going to gently tease the parchment inwards. Okay, so I'm going to do the flaps first. So I've done that one. Then I'm going to go around and I'm going to do that. And as I say, this is exactly the same for whether you're doing the cube boxes, whether you're doing the Tudor cottage. It's the same principle. I tend to do the little flaps first because they're a little bit more delicate. And we've got the flap on there. Now I'm going to do, so this is sort of like the lid or the back of the cake slice. So that is going to come over like so. And you'll notice that I'm not folding it completely flat. I'm just teasing it inwards like so. Now we're going to do the actual cake slice itself. Okay, tease that over. And then the next one. And all of a sudden, when you do that last one, it starts to really take its shape. Okay. Okay. So I've gently teased it. And now, as I bring it together, you'll see how we're starting to get the shape of our cake slice. Could be a finger mouse. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to attach the point of the cake first. Okay, for me, I find that a little bit more easier. So this is where it could take the rest of the hour to remove the high-tack tape backing. I'm going to use my one needle tool. There we go, needle tool. So that I'm going to take this one off as well. Okay, if I come in on this one, I wonder if that's a little bit better. Okay, so remove backing. There we go. So while it's flat, let me come over this way. While it's flat, I'm going to bring that one in like so and press down. Okay, so that is now the corner of my cake piece. Then I'm going to bring this flap in like so. Let's do this on the overhead, that might be easier. That comes in like so to join up. Now obviously my fingers are not that long, so once I've got it in place up here, then I'm going to make sure I've got the lid back on my tool. And what I'm going to do, if I come around on this one, I'm now going to take the tool and I'm going to press all the way in with the base of my tool to make sure that that is completely stuck. Then I'm going to turn those little flaps in like so. That happens like that. That comes over like that. And then that goes in like that. Okay, so that is how easy it is to construct your cake slice. Okay, so I think next what we'll do, we're going to go, so we've gone really easy. Let's go medium and we'll do the cube box. So I've got one, let me bring those details up on the screen for you. So this is the cube box selection. And that is item number 41043. So let me grab the one that I've already cut out. Okay. I've got one that I've also cut out in paper. And then the third construction one we're going to do, we'll do the cottage at the end. Okay. So let's have a look on the overhead on this one. This one has been cut out of parchment, and I've done it on pink parchment. And you can see here, this is the same whether you go for the groovy plate, whether you go for the die cut boxes 31160, or whether you go for the mini cube box 31185. It's the same principle and exactly the same way in which you would do with the parchment. Okay, this one here I've done out of designer paper. So this was using the 12 by 12. There it is there. So you could trace out on your 12 by 12 paper, and then when you're cutting it, cut it slightly smaller. Okay, now what I would do, because you could use it as a lining inside your card, but maybe you wouldn't want these little flaps. I mean, because you wouldn't really need to line the base of your cube. Let's see if I've got a cube here that's open. Okay, so you can see this one here. If I was using clear parchment, or I'd done a lot of pico cutting, I wouldn't necessarily want to line the base, or maybe I did. But I would get rid, if you're going to line the base, then follow this, but just cut it slightly smaller. Do you want to line the top as well? I would get rid of these little flaps here. I wouldn't go for those. So what you're going to do is create like a shell or a negative, sort of like to go on the inside of it, a liner. So let's have a look at the construction of this one. So you can see, because I've got the crisp white line, the tape is just on the bottom 3 tabs and down the side. Again, it's written on the instructions on the plate. Ruler again to do the folding process. So I'm going to do this one here. Okay, and I'm using the ruler. I'm going to do the little flaps first. I've already attached my high tack tape along there. Okay, turn that round. Then, okay, I'm going to just line it up. So the edge, you don't need to use the steel edge. You can use any edge of the ruler. I've used it with the bevel edge, so the bevel goes downwards. And that one there. And now we're going to do the little side flap, like so. Okay, because once the parchment, with parchment, once it is folded or creased, that's it. There's no sort of going back. And you may think, oh, I've scored it, I've traced out the white line, it's easy to fold. It isn't, because you think you're folding it right on the white line, and sometimes if you try and do it freehand, and sometimes what can happen is that when you actually fold it over, it's slightly wonky, and then what that does is it throws out the box completely. Okay, so I now have, so now that I've sort of teased it inwards, let me come in on this one. So now I'm going to crisp up these folds like so. Okay, and because I've teased them slowly, I'm not going to get any cracking along the edge of my parchment. That one goes there. Can't remember, did I do that one? No, see, I forgot to do this one, but I know, because it's such a small area, the ruler will definitely help with the folding on that one, like so. Bring these ones over, and now what I'm going to do is bring that one, and then on the overhead. Finally, that one there. Okay, and you can see all of a sudden it starts to assemble a cube. Now, top tip for getting it completely square, because you think, oh, it's a square, it's nice and easy. The best thing to do is to lay it flat like so and attach here first. Okay, so I'm going to take my 1 needle bolt to remove the backing again, like so. And while that's down like that, I'm going to bring that over and attach. So that has now given me the shape of my cube. Next, what we're going to do is, even though this is high tack, as long as you don't apply sort of pressure to it when you're removing, because I'm going to remove all 3 pieces of the high tack tape at once. But what that's doing, it's exposing this side to the mat, but I'm not going to apply any pressure, so I know it's not going to stick to the black mat. Okay. So without being all fingers and thumbs, how do you bring that up and how do you do it? I find the easiest way of doing it is close the lid so you're working on a flat surface, like so. Bring those back in, and then what you're going to do is bring the base inwards and attach the edge opposite the hinge. Okay. Then we're going to repeat the process like we did with the cake slice. We're going to pop the lid back onto our 1 needle bolt, and we're going to use the base of the tool to press on the inside of the, my hand's definitely too big to go in there to do that. So the tool, whoops, the tool will make sure that my tape is completely stuck. And now I have my cube. And this is the same for the die cut and also for the little cube as well, die set. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3. I've left plenty of time for the 3rd one. Right, okay. So let's have a look at the pack shot for the cube set while I just bring in the bits and pieces that I need for this one. Where's that one gone? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to bring in the plate. So the cube, the item number for that collection is 41043, saving of £18.59. If you like, let's come back to, I'm going to go to the overhead now. So this is the Tudor house. The item number for this collection, which is 1 A4 plate and 2 borders. The item number for this is 41042. And if you were interested in the cake slice, then the item number for that is 41632. And that's £30.08 plus your Clarity Craft discounts. Do you think I was trying to hesitate on assembling this one? Let me just bring those details back in. No. It's the same principle as the cube box, because it's not a square, it's a rectangle in shape. Let me just bring in one of the houses just to show you. If you compare, the cube were all square, weren't they, to create square? But you've got rectangle, then you've got it's not a square, but it's not a rectangle either. I suppose it is if it's a little bit longer. And then another rectangle, and then you've got your roof. Okay, this has a different type of base to it. And then it has a different type of top to it. Because you've got the pitch of the roof, of the side of the roof, it's not going to fold flat. So it's going to give you that lovely pitched roof around the edge. Okay. Now, when we look at the plate itself, you've got so many different choices to make if you want to. This edge along here, let me find one let me see, this one probably stand up. If I bring this one in here, if I bring this up to the camera, you'll see you've got lovely sort of scalloped and pointed along the edge of the roof. Okay, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just ignore this element along here and just have a straight edged roof. So for example, what I've done, just to show the difference, here is one that I've cut out with the scallops and the pitch down the side, and then this one here has nothing down the side. So if you think, oh, I'm not into my fussy cutting, most of this was all cut out with a craft knife, as I showed you earlier, and then I went in and did the peaks with my craft knife, and then I used my little scissors to go around the scallops. Okay, you could, if you wanted to, this would be the only one where if you wanted to, you could do picot cutting along these two edges here and here. There's no, you wouldn't do picot cutting. I wouldn't even do picot cutting here because it's going to get hidden behind the pitch of the roof. So if you wanted to introduce some picot cutting, this really, the Tudor house is the only one where you would do that. Maybe you're better at picot cutting than you are fussy cutting. So that would be a perfect opportunity to create a little bit more decoration just to the edge of that roof. Okay, so just for ease, I'm going to do this one here. This only requires two pieces of high-tack tape, one at the side down here, and then one on the other end of the roof. If I bring this in and lay that over the top, because we were looking at the front of the parchment now, you can see here D and A, and it will tell you that in those instructions as well. So we're going to do the same as before. Now along here, it's a little bit different of what we need to do. Okay, and again, it is explained on the instructions. So let's do all the easy bits first. So I'm going to take my ruler and holding that in place like so, I'm going to tease the bottom flaps in. Okay, just like so. Then what I'm going to do is turn it round. I'm going to do the pitch like so, that way. Okay, there we go. Who's already got these? I know our lovely design team have already got these. Maybe you've already got these and you've been struggling, you think, oh, I'm not sure how to assemble them. I can read the instructions, but some people prefer to have a look at a visual, don't they, when they're doing something. So maybe you've had it in the cupboard and you thought, I'll get round to it, I'll get round to it. Hopefully this video will help you. Okay, so then on this one, so now what does it say? So this is now going to fold this one here. So I'm moving to the second line. I'm not going to this one, I'm going to the second line up, and I'm going to bring that one in like so. I'm going to go to the middle and bring that one in towards me, and I'm working on the back still of the parchment, and then this one here I'm going to bring towards me as well. Okay, then what I'm going to do is turn it over, and this one, I'm on the front now, this one that runs across the top line of the Tudor cottage is now going to come in this way, and because it's a tiny little piece here, it's easier to use the ruler where my tape is and then lift the whole of the house and the roof towards me, because what this is doing is creating a mounting and valley fold. Done those ones? I haven't done those ones yet, have I? I haven't done the sides. So actually that's going to go this way. Tease that one in like so. Bring that one in, and then just work away exactly as we've just done with the boxes, like so. Now with this one, because the roof is wider, I need to turn this round, position that there, and then bring the side of the house in this way. Because what happens is you've cut straight in. It says it on the instructions. In order to create the opposite of this one, you need to cut right into these lines. And as I say, it's on the instructions if you forget. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in folds over and just crisp up those base sections. That I'm going to keep like so. This one here. Okay. See, I didn't read the instructions earlier. The side of the houses, the little pitched roof, you don't fold in. You just keep those exactly as they are. This one is now going to fold back like so. And this one comes back in on itself. The roof, we're on the back again. The roof there. That one comes in here, and then if I go to the front, then this one comes in like so. So what happens is you create the, if I come in on this camera, if I show you the, where am I going? So like the side of that roof, you can see you've got the, you've got the roof's coming down, and then it tucks under, and then it tucks back out again. Okay. So I'm going to follow my same rule of thumb of creating this section first. So remove the high tack tape, just like that. Okay. Then to make sure that your cottage is completely as a rectangle, bring that one over to create the shape of your cottage. And then what we're going to do now is look at the base connection. So the best way of doing this one is bring this one in first. That has like the two prongs. Then bring this one in, and this one, let me see if I can get on there. And what happens, so this little pointy bit hooks underneath, okay, hooks underneath this. So that goes like so. This one hooks under there, and then this folds in like so. So then if I go on the inside, there's no sticking on this, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm just going to crisp up those edges with the end of that tool so it holds its shape. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut a small piece of card and put some small piece of card, put some a tape runner on it, push it in the base to give it a little bit more stability. Then the fun part comes with attaching the roof. See, I could take that, and that just opens up the base like so. You can see where I left this one to the end, can't you? And you could do this in paper and card as well. But parchment is really robust once you have constructed it. then that fits in there like so, and it creates your roof. Okay. How do you attach the roof? Okay. How to attach the roof. This is why the bottom has been created like this, because you open it up. So now if I take off my tape here, let's remove that like so. Where's my goggles gone? Remove the red backing tape from there. Make sure you've got the bottom open like so. Don't stick it together when you fold it back up, but now you're going to pop that on the inside of the cottage. That goes like that. Just need to get it secure in one place like so. I can repeat the process by going in. I mean, I can use my fingers because it's a bigger size on this one. Then you create your closure at the bottom like so, and then you have your little cottage. Now you can put a circle in there and turn it into a bird house or a dog house or a cat house. And I mean, I've been showing you the construction of all of these. So we've looked at the cake slice, we've looked at the cube box, and we've now looked at the Tudor cottage. You have to decorate all of it first before you assemble them all, because how are you going to decorate it otherwise? So I've just shown you the construction, because there's no way in an hour, and we've gone just over the hour, that I would be able to decorate them all and construct them all. So we've looked at the lovely artwork from the design team to show what you can achieve. If you go to the claritycrafts.com website and you look at this product, then you'll see that there's artwork against it as well. You can come back and watch this at any time. But for me, this hour was really about showing you how to construct them, because I know some people prefer to watch a video on how to do something, and some people prefer to read instructions. Maybe you've just had that little sticking point thinking, how do I get the roof on? I'm not sure. You can always go on to Clarity and Groovy Worldwide and ask questions as well, because I mean, the design team have done a fantastic job with all that lovely artwork. So they're also there to help you as well. Right, I think we've got everything covered for this hour. I can't believe just gone 11 o'clock now. Thank you very much for your company and for joining me this morning. Thank you to the lovely Jilly, and no doubt the design team were in the room as well. So thank you very much. Where are we now? We're Friday, so Monday, 10 o'clock, we're back in the shack with Barb at 10, still on N for Nativity. Then Tuesday is Groovy Tuesday. So these are the last ones for 2024, with the exception of a special episode, live episode of The Shack on Christmas Day with Barb. Don't forget to check out the claritymatters.com blog. On Sunday, there'll be a step-by-step, and I believe this week it's from the lovely Sheila Metzeler. She's created a concertina card with some of those silhouette stamps. So, but there's loads and loads and loads of tutorials on there. Just, you'll lose hours going back on there. So enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the weekend, and I'll be back in the shack with Barb on Monday.